So in this video, we'll be looking at how to find the resultant force, resultant angle, and resultant diagram for this particular system of forces. Okay. All right. So if you look at it, we have about four forces: F1, F2, F3, and F4, and you can see their different angles. Okay. So how do you solve questions like this? First things first, as usual, let's draw the free body diagram. So my free body diagram is simply this, and of course this part here. All right, if you look at this way, F1 is 30 degrees inclined this way. So this way here, you have this as F1, and the angle there is about 30 degrees. The value of F1 is about 150 Newton. So F1 equal to 150 Newton. Next up, you have F2. F2 is 20 Newton inclined to the vertical. It's 80 Newton. So we have F2. F2 is 80 Newton inclined at 20 degrees to the vertical. So 80 Newton, 20 degrees to the vertical. So F2 equal to 80 Newton inclined at 20 degrees to the vertical. Okay. The third one that we have is F3 lying perfectly vertical. So you can see F3 this way. It's lying perfectly vertical. So what that means is that I'll just come here, this line, and reduce the bits. So perfectly vertical is this one here. So this now becomes F3. Okay, the value there for F3, it's equal to 110 Newton, 110 Newton. Then we have F4. F4 is lying, the value is 100 Newton, 15 degrees to the horizontal. So just come here, this way, and I have this 100 Newton, that's equal to F4. Okay, 100 Newton, and it's inclined at 15 degrees. So I have this as 15 degrees. All right. So with this done here, let's get our summation of horizontal and vertical forces. First one, I have summation of horizontal forces. I have sigma fx. Sigma fx is equal to, the first one there is F1. Now for this one here, of course, this is positive of x. This one here is positive of y. This is negative of y. This is negative of x. Okay, so if I resolve this to the horizontal this way, you have positive x, that becomes plus 150. Again, considering that the angle here is between the force and the horizontal line, the vertical component is given by cosine of the angle, that's 30. So I have 150 cos 30 as my value there. That becomes 150 cos 30. 150 cos 30. Next up, if I look at the next one here, if I resolve this to the horizontal, what I have there, it would be in the negative part of x. That becomes negative, so negative 80. In this case now, observe that the angle given is between the force and the vertical. All right. In the case where it's between the force and the vertical, resolving horizontally, you have this as sine 20. All right. So see the difference between this and the first one. For this, the angle was between the force, that's this one here, and the horizontal line. So this was the angle given. And in this case, what you use there is cos. All right. But if it's between the force, that's this one here, and the vertical like this, the horizontal component becomes sine. All right. So please take note of that. It becomes minus 80 sine 20 as your result. Okay. So I'll come here, minus 80 sine 20. Look at the F3 force. F3 force. Observe that F3 force is lying perfectly vertical. This is perfectly vertical. And what to note is this: whenever a force is lying perfectly vertical, it will have no horizontal component. Please take note, please. It will have no horizontal component. Why is it so? Well, the idea is simple. For this, the angle, as you can see, between the force and the horizontal is 90 degrees. So you can see here, it's 90 degrees. And if I take cos 90, cos 90 gives you what there? It gives you 0 as your answer. All right. So when you punch cos 90, you have your answer as 0. That's why we say there will be no horizontal component. In essence, for this one here, the horizontal component for F3 does not exist. Why? Because F3 lies perfectly vertical. So it will have no horizontal component. So that one is gone. Let's go to F4. For F4, push F4 to the x-axis. What you have, there's a positive of x. That becomes plus 100. The angle is between the force and the horizontal. And we said when the angle is between the force and the horizontal component is given by cos of the angle there. That becomes cos 15 degrees. So I have 100 cos 15 as your value. So it becomes plus 100 cosine 15. All right, so this is from here, we'll have that sigma fx. So sigma fx is equal to, let's say this 150 cos 30 minus 80 sine 20 plus 100 cos 15. What I have here is 199.13. This is force in Newton, so it becomes Newton, and then we'll have the I here. So you have this. So when I punch this, I have my answer as 199.13 Newton I. Let's get summation of vertical forces. Summation of vertical forces. We have sigma Fy. Sigma Fy, it's equal to vertical force. What do I have? Starting with F1, resolve F1 this way to the vertical. You have positive of y, so it becomes positive of the force, that's plus F1. In this case, the vertical component becomes sine of the angle there, 30. All right. So when the angle is, of course, between the force and the horizontal line, the vertical component is sine of the angle. So I have F1 sine 30. F1 is 150. So I'm going to do 150 sine 30. Okay, that one is gone. Let's look at F2. F2, the value is 80. If I resolve F2 to the vertical means to the y-axis, I still have a plus y. So it becomes positive, so plus F2. In this case, observe that the angle given is between the force and the vertical. And in this case, the vertical component becomes cosine of 20. Again, I've explained this concept in our previous class. I'll leave a link to the video in which I explained this from the very scratch in the video description. All right. So after this class, check the video description. I'll leave a link to our previous class where I explained all of this from scratch in the video description. Okay. So this gives you F2 cos 20. F2 is 80. So it becomes 80 cos 20. It becomes plus 80 cos 20. All right. The next we have there is F3. F3 lies perfectly horizontal, perfectly vertical. So F3 is lying this way here, perfectly vertical. So for a case like this, you don't have to bother about angle. Just take the value. Now it's on the negative part of y, so it becomes negative of the value there. That becomes minus 110. That's all. Minus 110. All right. So don't stress about the angle. Okay, but if you still want to use the angle, it becomes we said the angle here was 90, right? So it becomes 110 sine 90. And if you punch sine 90 gives you 1, and that becomes 110 times 1, which is what there? 110. Since it's in the negative part of y, becomes minus 110, which is exactly the same answer that we got. That's why I said don't stress about it. All right, let's proceed with this. The final one there becomes the 100 Newton. Resolve this to the vertical, that's to the y-axis. What you have, there's a negative of y. All right, so it becomes minus the force is 100 then sine of the angle there 15, right? It's sine because between the angle is between the first and the horizontal line, so it becomes sine. I have minus 100 sine 15. Okay, so minus 100, so minus 100 sine 15. All right, so with this we have that sigma fy it's equal to, let's put in values here. So what I have here is 150 sine 30 plus 80 cos 20 minus 110 minus 100 sine of 15. If I punch that, my answer here is giving me 14.29 approximately Newton J. That's for the y-axis. All right, so I haven't gotten this. Let's now get the resultant. You can say the resultant force. Resultant force, that's Fr, will be equal to the square root of sigma Fx squared plus sigma Fy squared. So we have this. Okay. All right, so I'll just put this here to show direction. Put this here to show direction. Do the same thing for these two here. All right, so indicate a direction here, showing that it's a vector. Come here, do the same for this. Do the same for this. All right, so this will be equal to the square root of what's fx? What's fx? Fx is 119.13. That's into 119.13 all squared plus what's fy? Fy is 14.29 all squared. So we have this. Fr is equal to, what I have here is root 119.13 squared plus 14.29 all squared. If I punch this, what I have here is 119.98 Newton. All right, so this is my resultant force. Let's now get the resultant angle. Resultant angle. The resultant angle is actually theta. Well, we said theta is equal to, your formula is tan inverse of sigma Fy, this, all over sigma Fx. And that's equal to tan inverse of sigma Fy. Sigma Fy, excuse me, let's get sigma Fy. The value of sigma Fy here is 14.29. Okay, so 14.29 sigma Fy all over, let's get sigma Fx. Sigma Fx here is 119.13. I have this as 119.13. We have this. All right, we have this one here. Let's solve this. This will be equal to tan inverse of 14.29 all over 119.13, and that's 0.1, let's take 1 2 approximately, right? In two decimal places, or even even in three decimal places, you have 0.120. So let's take 0.12 as a value. So it means that theta is equal to, I'm just going to take tan inverse of 0.12. And if I take tan inverse of 0.12, my answer here is 6.84 degrees. All right, so I have this as my angle. Finally, let's now get a diagram. All right, so resultant diagram. Resultant diagram. All right, for the diagram, what do we have there? We have this, we'll have this, okay, excuse me. We'll have this and this part here. Okay, this is my positive x, my positive y, this is my negative x, this is my negative y. If you look at the result we got, observe that for the fy, the value was positive. So this will be in the positive part of y. If you go back to fx also had a positive value, that's positive x. So the resultant will lie in the positive y, positive x axis. Positive y this, positive x this. So this is the quadrant that will contain it. And if you look at the value of the angle, it's very small, 6 degrees. So, or 6.84 degrees. So that means you have to draw it in such a way that to be small like this. You can say this, not so big. Okay. All right. So this angle here is 6.84 degrees as your angle. Okay. What's the value of the resultant force? 119.98. So I have this as 119.98 in Newton. So basically, guys, this is how we solve this question. Okay. All right, so if you enjoyed this video, you can check out my other videos on applied mechanics or solid mechanics from my website. Simply visit www.jonahemmanuel.com/courses and then look out for the second year undergraduate 1 course, or you can join my channel membership to get access to exclusive content. Look out for the second year undergraduate membership under my channel membership. All right, so click on my channel membership. I'll leave a link to my website and to my channel membership in the video description. All right, so check video description. You see a link to get the course, that's second year undergraduate 1 from my website, or you can see the link too to join my channel membership. Check for second year undergraduates. Okay. All right, guys. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button. All right, so like this video, it helps us to grow. Leave a comment. If you have any question, leave it in the comment section. Also, if you enjoyed the class, tell us in the comment section. Don't forget to also subscribe to this channel. All right, if you're yet to subscribe or if it's your first time, please hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so that you get notified whenever we upload new content. Then finally, share this video to your friends so that they can also learn. Thank you and see you in our next class.